Hi guys, my name is Krale, and I actually want to talk to you guys about something that deeply concerns me. So let's roll the intro and let's get into the video. So one of the things that really concerns me, and this is why I'm creating this video, is that lots of people are overpaying their equipment. What I mean by that is that people reflect on other people's channels, which is completely a fine thing to do, don't get me wrong, like you should. The only thing you should consider, and especially if you're a new streamer or YouTuber or anything in particular where you're growing in, don't reflect on people's equipment. There's people who make more money than you, there's people who have a bigger network or a growth than you. And obviously, you know, the better your quality regarding audio, visual side from video, and your gameplay and yourself, like your personality, is a good thing. It is, however, that regarding equipment that's because of the video, it is not that we need it. It's not like a necessity to make a growth or at least a start. You know, with progression, you can actually upgrade your content, which is a completely fine thing to do, and I highly encourage people. It is, however, not an ideal thing to start with. To briefly describe it for people is that the first thing you should think of, especially in, you know, upgrading your content, is balance your audio and video. Now, those two things are the most important. You might ask me why, but people, they see with their eyes, they look at you, they look at your stream, they look at your camera, they want to see, you know, at least some quality so they can get a brief description of who you are, how you personally are, and what they're looking at. Now, balancing that with your audio is one of the key things that I highly encourage people, is because people listen to you, they listen to your music, and they also listen to the game. And if you can balance all of these three things to make sure that you get the most out of your content, that's literally all you really need. You don't need crazy expensive cameras, microphones, or anything to make at least a start in a growth. You know, it's definitely something you can look forward to. And I highly encourage, with progression that comes on, I highly encourage people to eventually upgrade, you know, but that's something you should later look onto. The funny thing is that people, they look at other people's channels, and obviously a lot of the big people on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram and all these influencers, just like myself, we tend to look at their equipment. We look at the beastie computers and all that kind of stuff that they're rocking. They're rocking cameras with lenses that go over 4,000 or 5,000 euros, or dollars in this case. It is not a bad thing to invest in your equipment, but it is not something you should do if you're just starting off. I highly discourage people to make an investment in their content, or not in their content, to make an investment in their equipment straight from the start. Let's say we're building a YouTube channel that has 0 subscribers, and I would be investing, let's say, $10,000 to $20,000 or euros in a camera, a lens, in a good microphone, you know, and it's definitely not a bad thing, but it's a start. You're beginning. You're not even close to having that dedication. Who knows, you might start your YouTube or your Twitch or anything in particular now, but maybe with progression from, like, you know, a few days to a month to a year, you start to decide that you want to quit. And that's something you should be careful with, because the moment you start realizing it is not something you want to continue doing, you already invested a lot of money, which is definitely something you shouldn't do. Now, there's a few things that I want to show you that might be some good examples that you can use. You know, I highly encourage people to use several cameras or webcams. You know, you can set different angles, which is definitely not a bad thing, but don't do it from the start. Get a cheap camera. I'm going to show you something funny. The lighting right now in the room are just 2 Elgato key lights. Now, if I were to turn these off, and I will show you guys that in a video, that how important lighting in a video is, the quality of your camera, and it doesn't matter if it's a camera or a webcam, the quality of the video is going to be 10 times better, because if it's a lens or anything you're using, everything here with lighting at least, and not like lighting from the ceiling, but direct lighting to your face, is definitely something that's going to improve the quality. So invest in quality lighting, but don't, you know, start buying stuff like Elgato straight from the start. It's not necessary. Just buy some cheap lighting, light yourself properly, and make your background in, you know, for example, me, my background right now is a blank background. But if you have a background that is filled with stuff, make sure that you tend to make yourself stand out where these lights, and they directly, you know, look at me. It definitely will help you stand out. So I highly encourage people to get like quality lighting. Now, the fun thing is I used to start with a Logitech C920, which in this case I don't have anymore. It's a fairly cheap webcam. I think you can get it for like 30 or 40 bucks. And with some proper lighting, it looks amazing. You can get up to 720 to 1080p resolution. But you will definitely see, and keep that in mind, that literally buy the lighting first and then the camera, because the camera without proper lighting is not going to really work out well, or at least too well. I have a few examples here that are definitely something you can use, but it is not a necessity. Looking, for example, here, this right here is the Logitech Bryo 4K, which I got in 2019, I think. And this cost me about 200 euros. I live in the Netherlands, so the currency here is euros. It's the estimate equivalent to 200 bucks. I will give you guys an honest opinion about this product in itself. Is it good? Yes, it has a really good quality. It has up to 4K, but 30 FPS, and it has 1080p resolution with 60 frames per second. But it has a really wide 90-degree angle view, so you can get a lot of your surroundings. Color-wise, it's not the greatest. It really measures out and blends out a lot of color, but it is definitely something you can use, and I've been using this even till today. I'm still using it. It is definitely something you can invest in, and I highly encourage people to get at least a good quality camera. The other one is something I used to use, but you need a lot of things to actually make it work. This is the Leica. It's a 4K camera. It's a lot more expensive than the webcam. It cost me about $700 or $800, and it goes up to 4K quality on resolution with 60 frames per second. However, you do need a few things to connect that to your computer, which is the Elgato Cam Link, which I will also give a review on, and all the other equipment that you need to connect at least a camera, not just a Leica, but any camera, like a professional DSLR camera. You need a lot of proper equipment to equip these. So recently I still had a very expensive camera, which I tried using. I still need to set it up. It is the EOS 7D Mark IV. I won't really talk about how much it is. I don't think it's important. I can, however, say don't buy this if you're a starting streamer or YouTuber. We're not talking about hundreds. We're not talking about 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000. It was a range between 5,000 to 7,000 euros or dollars, how much this camera cost me, including the Sigma 14mm wide lens, which cost me about 300. And then I also had the Tamiya lens, which cost me another 600. So these are just investments, and I used to have this camera for photography, so don't worry, I didn't buy this just for streaming. I wanted to see how it would work. It is not something you need. The thing that a lot of people say in videos is that the best quality on a camera or a webcam is lighting. If you are able to deceive all the room lighting and you only get directional lights, whether that's an Elgato key light or something else, and you directly point them towards yourself, that is going to be 10 times better than having a ceiling light and a camera or webcam pointing at you, because it's going to take the environment with you. You know, looking at a blended background with me, the lights tend to show my face, and I have like a shadow here and a lighter side there, which is going to make me stand out, including my chair, so people focus on me, and obviously I move around, so you will have the directional focus. Now, the fun thing is, I will give you guys another review on this, and this is like the disclaimer of the video. You don't even need a webcam. You don't even need a camera. This video is shot on my phone, which, well, it is an expensive phone, but this can be shot on any phone really. There's an application called Epoch Cam, which not too long ago has been acquired by Elgato themselves. And it's an application that is free, and the pro version that I'm using, it's only like 10 or 11 bucks, and it's not like a subscription. You can pay it and then you get it. But it gives you up to a 1080p 60 frames per second resolution, or an OBS of 30 frames. But you can see, especially with my phone, I'm using an iPhone 11 Pro Max. So the phone was pretty expensive, but depending on your phone, that's also the quality you're gonna get. I'm gonna give you a slight review on how good the focus on this camera actually is, as you can see. Now you can see, the moment I move my hand away, you can see it focuses on my chair. And the moment I put my hand in front, you can see it focuses on my jacket. So obviously, using your phone is definitely something you can do. However, it really comes down to what kind of phone you're using. Now, obviously, you can use any kind of phone. I have my own personal phone, which is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I could also be using my work phone, which is a Motorola G11. But the better your phone, the more, I don't want to say the more amazing, but the better your quality of your camera is going to be. Now, obviously, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is definitely not cheap, but if you are capable of having a phone with a pretty decent or good quality camera, I would say dump your webcam, dump your cameras, start using your phone, download Epoch Cam. This is not a sponsored video. As you can see, I'm a small YouTuber. Disclaimer, I'm a small Twitch streamer as well. I would, however, really, really appreciate it and respect it if you guys would be able to drop me a follow or check me out on Twitch, and make sure that you subscribe on this video so you stay up to date with my content, because I have a lot of projects that are coming up, especially since 2021. A lot of people, they want us to talk about the newest equipment, how to grow, 5 tips to get 10,000 viewers. That's not gonna happen, but regarding with COVID around and the whole epidemic, or pandemic, I'll make sure that you guys will get all the information you need to start streaming on Twitch. So don't worry, your boy Krale got you covered. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video was informative. Cheers.